Word. How's it going? Word. Yeah, I guess it's kind of rough when an old man tries to be cool. Welcome to Mr. Reely's neighborhood. It's great to see you. And today we're going to be talking about words. And just the word can be used in different ways. Like the way I open up this program, a lot of times when you say word like that, and you could probably be cooler than me, but it basically means what's up, how things going. And words are interesting things because they can change so much over time. And I have two books that I really, really like. One's called The Word Museum by Jeffrey Kasirk. And I have another one that he wrote also called The Informal English. And I went through these, and these are a book of words, a dictionary basically, of words that aren't used anymore. And you probably, at your age, will not have experienced this yet. But as you get older, there's going to be more and more words that you used when you were younger that you won't use when you're older. And when you're older and you say certain words, the kids will look at you and go, "What?" Or you'll say, "We don't use that word anymore." I remember a word I loved that kind of went out very quickly. But when I was a kid, a lot of people said groovy. They'd go, "That's groovy." As in that's neat or that's cool or I like that. Now if I go around saying that's groovy, I get those kind of strange looks. But words go in and out of popularity. I pulled a few out of that book, The Word Museum, and I want to see if you can help me bring them back, okay? And I'm going to say the word. I want to see if you can guess what it means. And then I'll tell you what it is. And I want you to use these words this week, okay? And I might even give you some ideas. One is begrumpled. Can you guess what begrumpled means? Okay, it means displeased or unhappy. Like if you do something and your parents don't like it and they frown at you, you can go, "Mom, Dad, are you begrumpled?" Okay, and perfectly good question, good English. All right, another word I like is bludderbunged. That used to be a word. Still is a word, but you don't hear much. Butterblunged. That means overcome by surprise. So like Christmas morning, you get a present you didn't know you were going to get. You go, "Mom and Dad, I am so butterblunged." See, you're getting so much smarter. Okay, how about this one? I like this one. Chimble. 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 That's when you chew on something like a mouse. Like if you have a Pop-Tart in the morning, you're just kind of going, you're just chimbling on your Pop-Tart. Another one is doatee, Doatee, and it's when you nod while you're sleepy when you're sitting up, okay? So you've probably seen your grandparents, mom or dad, maybe you, doteeing in church, for instance, like during a sermon or something, you're sitting and you're going, you do that thing. That's called doatee. So you could go to church and say, "Dad, make sure you don't doatee today in church. Stay awake." And then another one I like is the word glunch, Glunch, glunch. It basically means to frown. You could go up to somebody who's kind of unhappy and say, "Why are you glunching?" Okay, it just means to frown. But anyway, I think words are neat things. I'll tell you a book you might like to read that I read, believe it or not, a few years ago. It's called Frindle by Andrew Clements. Have you ever read that? Highly suggested. Clements has written any number of entertaining books, and it's basically a book about words and word meanings, and it's a story, so it's not like boring. It's a neat story about a boy named Nick Allen who is a fifth grader, and he decides that he's going to start calling the pen a frindle, and he gets everybody at the school calling it a frindle instead of a pen, and it may not sound like an exciting story to you, but it really is neat, and it won the Christopher Award, whatever that is. But I think you would like it. I'd highly recommend it for Christmas stocking or something, because it talks about words and where they come from, but it puts it in the form of a neat, entertaining story. And so, why are we talking about words today? It's because in the fifth grade Bible classroom, you will see one of the painted canvases that at the top of it, it has word, and then it has the Greek word for word, which is called logos, right beside our English word, word. And I'm just going to, before we talk about the biblical meaning of word, so if you will, open your Bibles to the Gospel of John, chapter 1. I want to be reading verses 1 through 3 and then 10 through 14. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was with God in the beginning. Through him all things were made. Without him nothing was made that has been made. Now down to verse 10. He was in the world, and though the world was made through him, the world did not recognize him. He came to that which was his own, but his own did not receive him. Yet to all who did receive him, to those who believed in his name, he gave the right to become children of God, children born not of natural descent, nor of decision or a husband's will, but born of God. The Word became flesh and made his dwelling place among us. We have seen his glory, the glory of the one and only Father, who came from the Father, full of grace and truth. And so we have here a passage that is about Jesus. And it's using the descriptive term for him as the word, the logos. And I think that's really interesting, because he's basically, John is saying here, you can take everything, all the written things about God, and you have all the things written about God, and then you here have Jesus, and all those words are totally embodied in Jesus. He is the Word. And whereas in the Old Testament you had the prophets who could only speak the Word, you had Jesus who actually was the Word. And so now not only did you just read about how to be like God, not only did you read words to be like God, you had Christ who was the Word in the flesh. And it says it right there in 14, the Word became flesh and made his dwelling upon us. He is the Word. And so that's the third name that we're looking at that's used for Christ in the Bible. Remember, we talked about Emmanuel, God with us. We talked about bright morning star, and now we're talking about Word. Jesus is the Word. And he's called the Word because we can see God's glory through Jesus' teaching, through his miracles, and through his way of life. And he gives us a path or an example to follow in how to live our life. And so my prayer for you as you go out and live this week and the rest of your life is to see Jesus as the Word. And if you really want to know what God is like, you have to live like the Word, the Logos. God bless you. I love you. I pray that you'll be safe this week. And until next week, take care. Now, here's some bonus material, no extra charge. I'm going to show you something in here in just a second, and I'm going to see if you can read it. All right, here it comes. Look at it. Could you read it? Now, I want to tell you one thing. I want you to look at it again and notice how the first and last letter of each group of letters, they're actually words. The first and last letters are correct, the correct letters. It's everything in between them that are mixed up. Now try to read it again and see if that helps you at all. Did you do a little bit better? I knew you did. Anyway, I just kind of threw that in just kind of for a fun way to look at words. And the reason you can read the words just through seeing the first and last letter, and even with all the other ones mixed up, is because your mind, when you're reading, you don't read every single letter anyway. Your mind learns to group things as you read. So I thought that'd be kind of a little neat additional thing. And from what I read, doing that exercise makes you a little smarter too. So you're thank you. You're welcome. See ya.